it's Thursday and we meet each other again. The VIP crew is ready for this virtual event. The scenes might be rough, but we will have a jolly time. Is everybody here? Are the avatars in line? There's so much going on in the NFT world. It seems like uncharted sea. Let Matthew and Rizzle guide us through. The speaker is ready and so are we. Let's keep sailing on the Metaverse. Thursday's when the lightning strikes. So listen up, there's a lot to learn. Keep the treasure in your sight. Please no one get the veggie draw. Just upgrade your microphone. Together we're strong, we ain't gonna stop. Welcome to the WIP Meetup.
Boom. There we go. Quick mic check. Can y'all hear me okay? Good. There we go. This is Matthew, aka Nifty Time. Welcome back to the WIP, y'all. First of all, everyone who was at the WIP last week at the Metaverse, State of the Metaverse, shout out to y'all. That was super fun. The conversation that we had there, we did a post WIP follow up, I think, with Johan, Matthias from Meme and Rizzle, and we were just talking about the conversation that happened there. That's not something you hear every day or can hear every day. So we're really excited to bring those sorts of conversations back to y'all with some recurring frequency. Outside of that, my updates this week are short and sweet. I'm really excited to get to introducing StrawberrySith to everyone. We're hanging out in his HyperFi parcel, part of that's tied in with what he's building out over at Causality, which is showing why NFTs make sense in the real world with physical products as well as in the digital realm. So really excited for that. If anyone has any physical items that are tied to NFTs, get those handy. Pay attention to what StrawberrySith is going to be talking about, because there could be a pretty cool experience we could create for you in HyperFi. After that, we have some huge ribbity updates from Flyfrogs. Excited to hear that. And real quick shill, Rizzo and I reported maybe our best episode ever. I don't know if that's true, but it was a really, really fun episode that we just released yesterday. Highly nuanced. I think Rizzo and I obviously are really aligned on a lot of points, but I think we uncovered some really, really interesting aspects of what's needed in the space, what we're doing, and where we're heading. So check that out. If you like it, share it. Very nuanced. Also, we do a lot of shitting on parades and stirring of pots, which is like pretty hilarious. So check that out. And here's the link to that once again. All right, I'll shut my mouth. Hand it over to Rizzle before we get to StrawberrySith. So Rizzle, dude, unmute. Take it away, man.
Yo, thank you. Confirm I'm not in the veggie drawer. Y'all can hear me?
Sound really good.
Yeah, right on. All right. I have links, important links. So I'm going to drop those now while I'm talking, so y'all can either fill those out or bookmark those things. First one being the guest book, which you always want to fill out because Fabiano and Patrizia, once again, are hooking us up with a strawberry, coincidentally. This like very cute voxel strawberry. And we got StrawberrySith on today. So it's like a strawberry, thing we got going on. I may try and dredge up a strawberry avatar while we're, hearing from StrawberrySith here and see if we can get that going. But anyway, make sure you fill out the guest book for today. I'll close that after the WIP so we don't get botted. The other thing is I think I confused the WIP thingy that was going on the last couple weeks. Anyway, if you've been signing the guest book thinking you were getting in on that, make sure you also sign this thing because this is our official link for the WIP and everything, and waitlist spots and things and everything like that. They're doing their official launch in a couple weeks and want to make sure that if you can get good stuff for free, you can get it. So get that link. That's just for us. Same thing with the guest book. So sign all the things while you listen to me banter about stuff. Shout out Fabio and Patrizia for hooking us up, as always. So we're going to do a little world hopping about halfway through after we hear from StrawberrySith, which I'm stoked to hear from, man. StrawberrySith is like a big time supporter and attendee of the WIP and has been on in the past. And so it's cool to have him circle back with the cool stuff that he's working on. Flyfrogs has a really dope update that the team and especially Molly, who is wife of Flyfrogs and a wizard of a dev that doesn't say much publicly, but deserves a lot of credit for the work she does behind the scenes. And I think the crowd here will like appreciate what they're cooking up. It's cool and fun, and we get the alpha before anyone else knows about it, which is always also fun to get on the WIP and everything. And so giveaways, sign all the things. Hang out and pay attention. We'll take a field trip over to Flyfrog's spot and CryptoVoxels and take a group shot there at the end with Paradox. I believe Paradox is back in the house this week. If not, we got several fake Paradoxes queued up. Last but not least, we're broke, and this is like Metaverse public broadcasting. Matt, I was thinking we should probably put the WIP Meetup.eth like on the public Twitter account so like people can donate even like if they're not just listening to us rant. But anyway, if you donate to the WIP Meetup.eth, it gets split up amongst the crew seamlessly in an amazing smart contract. You don't even have to trust Matt, but Matt hasn't rugged us in like 3 or 4 weeks in a row. So he's like pretty trustworthy and like not very sus at this point. So either way, if you want to, we are so bad at marketing. If you want to support us, send us your shit and your money and we'll make good use of it and appreciate it very much and shout you out. Speaking of which, shout out to the crew that makes this happen week in and week out. It's Carolina Duh, Sandy Meows, Foxy Yoga, Easy, Paradox Show, Dragonate, Commonwealth the Stowaway, Brookhawk the Chef, Fabiano, Patricia, Johan, Matthias, Matt. Follow all our people. They're all brilliant and have cool stuff that they do, and you should check it all out. With that, I think that's about it for me. Make sure I got too many links here. I'll make sure to drop those links again towards the end if you didn't get them in the chat. But in the meantime, don't worry about that. Hop into Hyperfy and come hang out and dance with us while we listen to StrawberrySith tell us what the deal is with your physical goods that are tied to NFTs, which apparently you should have in front of you if you've got something like that. So I might, but I was trying to think of one ahead of time, but I couldn't queue anything up on the fly. So anyway, still stoked to hear what StrawberrySith has got going on, man. So if you want to take the mic, take the mic.
Hey man, how's it going? I'm just gonna do a mic check real quick. You guys can hear me okay?
Sounds great, man.
Sweet. So wow, this is cool. First of all, 3 to 4 weeks not to get rugged is a long time. I just want to remind everybody of that. So do put in those donations, as will I. Thanks for having me, guys. It's cool to see all the old faces here. Just a little correction, I did do the Strawberry Sundays show for a while, right, back in the day, but I don't think I've ever been on the WIP Meetup as a speaker because I did not have a project or a company yet. So this is super exciting for me, kind of like, full circle. And I'm really happy to be here and get to share something cool that I've been building with my team for everybody that's here. Genesis, yeah. All right, guys. So if you are not in the Hyperfly space yet, why don't you go ahead and hop in? Riz has been dropping links here in the Discord chat, and we'll just give everybody a second to do so. And while you're doing that, I'm just gonna, fill you guys in a little bit on what you're about to see here. So the connection that Riz was talking about isn't with NFTs specifically, it's with NFCs, near field communications chips. So we're talking about any physical item like the ones you may be familiar with from Artifact, 90cc, Lobstars, Crypto Kaiju, all sorts of places like that have the little chip in them that you can scan. That's what the software, which is called Causality, by the way, that's what it functions with. And I'll show you what that's going to bring to the table in just a few moments. So if you have something like that, you're welcome to download the Causality mobile app. It's causality.xyz in the app stores or in Google Play. And you could use that to scan the chip, then send it to me. And I'll add it to the API account for this little demo. You could just shoot that to me in DM or something if you have it. Otherwise, I think I'll just screen share if possible so that anybody who's in the Discord can see it too. Matt, Riz, can I screen share?
Yeah.
Dragonade?
Yeah, 100%. In the bottom left there, just click that the monitor symbol with the arrow, and you should be able to choose the screen you want to share.
Right, cool. Let's see. I'm going to give you guys 1440 and a high frame rate. Don't say I never gave you nothing. Let's just see. Okay. Should be this. Cool. Okay, so hopefully now everybody can see the screen. So let's talk about physical and digital for a little while first. And guys, you're welcome to chime in either with questions or comments while I'm giving this little spiel. I'm purposely avoiding the word and the phrase phygital because I know that makes Rizzle's blood curdle. But I really don't know what else to call it, right? We are experiencing this digital thing, right? This digital direction that things are going in. And that's been happening actually for quite some time. So, if you rewind back about 10 or 11 years, I don't know how many of you are going to remember, but around the same time that the Nintendo Amiibo came out, for those of you who aren't familiar, the Amiibo is a Nintendo experience. It's games basically that work with action figures that you scan in order to be able to use them in the game and or get all sorts of power-ups. If I remember correctly, that was actually first done by Activision. They had a game called Skylanders that worked that way. And this whole notion of using physical toys inside of digital video games. And I don't mean just scanning it once, right? And then it takes you to a website where you get an item. That's how most people are doing phygital nowadays. Back then, you were able to actually put it on this NFC reader that would read the chip inside the toy. And then it would actually give you like all sorts of stuff in the game. It was very visceral or cerebral experience. So much, in fact, that it became, in just a few short years, one of the most successful niches in the entire video game industry in history. Like, I think it brought in something like $8 billion in 5 years, that niche alone. Now, if you fast forward to today, we are experiencing a lot of that all over again. So over the past couple of years, not only in Web3 have people been experimenting with NFC tags, right? That usually, like I said, take you to a website where you can mint something, or 9DCC is actually doing all sorts of things that are far cooler than that are actually far more interactive. But even a few years before that, like 2019, 2021, you have all sorts of mainstream companies that are doing phygital stuff, putting NFC tags in everything. You've got Hasbro toys and stuff from Gucci and Louis Vuitton and quite a few brands. You'd be surprised at the extent of how many NFC tagged physical items from every aspect of every industry are actually on the market. For instance, many of you are familiar with everything that Mattel is currently doing with NFTs or tried to do, but what you may not know so much is that they tried to do this phygital experience of their own with an entire line of Hot Wheels toys called Hot Wheels ID. And each of those toys had an NFC tag in it that would work with special sets that you could put together that had a video game that came with it. And then depending on how fast the physical car went, the digital car would go as well. It was it was a very experiential thing. So inspired by that, and also inspired by the way that, for instance, so much merch is given out at conferences and stuff. And, aside from being comfy, if it is good, I don't know how many of you actually keep all of the little tchotchkes and knickknacks and stuff that you get because, it's used for marketing purposes. And unless it's from, the WIP Meetup community, I imagine that eventually goes into a very dark space in your closet, if not the trash bin. Now, imagine instead that those physical items continued to have digital utility for them, the same way that an NFT can have digital utility. All of a sudden, you have this connection of value between the digital and physical. However, in order for that to maintain itself, to perpetuate and to continue, there has to be some link of requirement between the two, right? So if you only use the physical to go to a website once where you mint something or you get a digital item or a digital utility, and then you never have to see the physical ever again, for intents and purposes, you can say that the link between the physical and the digital is broken. Causality, right, derived from the notion of cause and effect, is all about maintaining that link in perpetuity. And with that long spiel aside, let me show you guys what that actually looks like. So if you're in space, I'm the little cactus dude. You can follow me for a sec. Or if not, just watch this on the shared screen, and I'll show you how this actually functions. So because I'm off camera, you can't see this, but I have near my laptop here a little notebook that happens to have an NFC tag in it, just for the purpose of this this little demo. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to approach this this booth here, which we call the Causal Connect booth. Now, the way that Causality works is as a SaaS. So anyone can have their own Causality API account. All it requires is a call to 2 RESTful API endpoints, and you use it in conjunction with the Causality mobile app in order to activate experiences. So here's how it works, just to show it to you. I'm going to click on this little orb. The orb is now showing me specifically a QR code. I'm going to scan the QR code with the mobile app. Now it's telling me to scan the physical item, which I did. It's showing me a little animation, and it says flight enabled. And now you can see that by scanning this physical object that was asked of me, I automatically received this pair of wings, and I can also now fly, which most of you should not have the ability to at the moment. Now, the beauty here of what we're talking about, of Causality as a product, is not in these wings, right? That's just something that we chose because they're shiny and they're cool, and they visually demonstrate what we're achieving here. They're in the middleware that makes this connection. So the same way that we chose to give the avatar or the person who's behind it a pair of wings and the ability to fly if and when they successfully scan a physical product that the API was looking for, you could have used it for anything, right? In the end, it's just a true-false Boolean. We could have used it to unlock another area in this Hyperfy space. We could have used it to drop, an item into your account. Or, for instance, if you're trying to equip an NFT, maybe it can only be equipped if you're also wearing the physical digital twin of it. You can do all sorts of cool things with it. And of course, not only in Hyperfy, any environment that can make an API call, which includes everything from a website to an app, an SDK, and of course, a smart contract, is compatible with Causality. What was that?
That was Samuel L. Jackson. When you reach, I think it was 7 minutes, it automatically chimes in just to give you a little heads up on how long you've been talking. Sorry for the surprise.
Man, that scared the living shit out of me. But okay, I'll wrap it up. Anyway, guys, so that's Causality. That's how it works. Aside from me being white as a ghost right now, I hope you think that it's cool. Would welcome any questions. If any of you guys are devs or play around with code and stuff, would love to also hook you up with an early access API account. Just hit me up on DMs privately or whatever. And yeah. Thanks for listening. Thank you for the terrifying soundbite that stopped my heart. And just happy to be here.
You scared StrawberrySith to death. Sorry about that again. But
Oh,
awesome presentation. The wings and being able to fly in these virtual environments, it's special. And using that as the demo, I think it's a really fun, powerful way to drive the potential home. I'm just curious, before we pass the mic to Show for some more questions, what are some other use cases either in prod today or being developed or possible but just not developed yet that has you excited when it comes to NFTs, physical goods, and like the linkage in between?
Yeah, great question, man. So first of all, before I answer that, I noticed that a lot of people are asking for the flying ability. There is a cheat code you could use here. It's /flap. I feel like it's very important for me to emphasize in Web3 that's flap like wings, not fap. So if you put that in the chat, it'll give you wings, and then you could fly around. To answer your question, man, so there actually was another activation that was already done, aside from this Hyperfy integration. That was by Cat Russell, crypto artist who you guys probably know. He did an activation called Dark Adaptation, which was at ETH Denver and also at NFT NYC. Basically, he made 100 NFTs that derived from a physical piece that he created. Now, his team integrated the Causality API directly into the smart contract, and then they put a chip in the physical art piece. Now, if you interact with it using Causality, you can add his signature to your NFT. So it basically uses an oracle to call the API. And then if you successfully scan the NFC tag, it automatically updates the metadata. It adds his signature to the image and also to the trait, if I'm not mistaken. But you have to show up physically, right? That's the way he went about it in order to scan the piece. So in doing so, he had this kind of like experiment on the value of physical presence in digital art. So that already happened, and if you guys go to Causality XYZ, you can see a video of what that looks like. In terms of other activations, man, like the sky's the limit. Like think about all the different ways you could use this in games that are coming out, many of whom we're in discussions with. Think about like point of sales of, either physical stores or digital stores where you can give people discounts or promotions or just like extra stuff, if they're already wearing, an item or have something on their presence. There are really many different ways that you can go about it. But I think really the most exciting ones are the ones that my team and I haven't thought about yet. And, we're hoping to produce friction, get this in the hands of more builders, more devs, so that we can see some of that. Maybe some of those ideas will come from the group that's listening in today. Who knows?
Super sick. And then I'll pass the mic to Sho to hit you with some more questions from the audience and then from his personal well of amazing, hard-hitting, incisive questions.
Love it. Sup, Sho?
Hey, if you're in a voice channel, please. Well, actually, you know what? Let me server mute them. Had to fire the shotgun there. All right. Okay. What was the inspiration for all this?
The inspiration came from two different points. One was the point that I already spoke about, so I won't go into it any further about, merch just being just merch, right? After a conference or something like that. By using Causality, by putting an NFC tag into anything, you can now make this like something that's useful and that's worth keeping around. So that's one aspect of it. But the other aspect was the way in which activations, in which projects were using NFC tags or not using them, right? We want to go about a different way to go about thinking phygital. And the inspiration for that specifically actually came from Zelda, believe it or not. I don't remember which of the Zelda games it was for DS. I believe Link's Awakening or something like that. But do you guys remember the DS? Did anybody else here have a Nintendo DS? It was really interesting because it not only had two screens, but it also had a microphone. And spoiler alert, in the specific Zelda game, in one of the aspects, you reach like this area and then there's like this item that's covered in sand, and they keep like hinting to you that like you need to do something about the sand. And eventually what you had to do was you had to blow on it. Now, obviously, there was no way for it to pick up on the sensation of your breath, but it used the microphone to kind of like simulate the fact that you were blowing, and then it blew the sand away. That's what I call a phygital experience, right? That's something that like spanned the borders from physical into digital, and you felt it. You felt it like in your spine. You know what I mean? That's the type of experiences that we want to promote and to help people create. Stuff where there's really a connection of requirement between the digital and the physical worlds.
That's awesome. And lastly, what are your plans for the future?
So I mean, the plans for the future are to be ideally the go-to platform for phygital stuff. Right now, we're trying to work with partners, right? We're kind of like in a soft launch, early access type stage. So we're onboarding people one by one. But the more we talk about it, we'd really like just people to continue to experiment with it and build cool stuff, and yeah, just turn this into a really useful tool for people going down the line.
Awesome. Shout out to that Nintendo DS example. That is pretty powerful. And trying to create more experiences like that. That's got my gears turning personally. If anyone has any ideas that they think would be cool to tie in with Causality, or have questions about potential ideas, just to kind of kick the tires and see if there's any there, feel free to reach out to StrawberrySith. He's one of the most solid dudes in the space. And as you can see, on the bleeding edge of trying to unite what's happening IRL and URL. So StrawberrySith, dude, thank you so much for making your Genesis appearance. We'll gotta make some pull out for that to commemorate it, but shout out to everything that you're doing and building, man.
Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate you having me, and thanks everybody for listening.
Cool. And with that, Flyfrogs is in the house, so whenever you're ready, unmute and take it away and give us all the ribbity updates.
1 second.
First, we gotta jump over to
Yep,
boxes,
I'm gonna
yeah,
drop the link. Yeah, we're gonna hop over to the Flyfrog spot in Crypto Voxels. I'm dropping the link in Hyperfy, and I'll drop it in here before we pass the mic over to Flyfrogs. And if I don't remember, everyone remind me to drop the guest list link and the link to the VIP whitelist thing at the end. So hop into Crypto Voxels and let's hear what Flyfrogs has to say.
There we go. Hello. I've been whacked, so now you can hear me, right?
We're whacked, man. Yes, we unwhacked you.
I've been unwhacked. Woohoo! All right, great. Well, yeah, as Rizzle mentioned, my wife Molly does all the cool stuff on our project. She makes our website, does the smart contract, generated our initial PFPs, does tadpole breeding, and now tadpole customization. So I'm going to share screen so you can see what she's been up to. Oh, look at that nice strawberry frog there. Let's see, share your screen. I'm going to share this one. Share. All right, how's that look? Good, you can see the new website, Rizzle?
Yep, looks great.
All right, sweet. So this is my wife Molly. She just refreshed the website. She's been working on it a little bit, and so it has a new look. And then if you click on this frog on the left here, it just randomly rotates between different frogs, which is just a fun little feature. And the newest thing, which this is called the WIP. So this is a work in progress that I'll share with you today, which is cool. Is tadpole customization. So in case there's a few of you here who don't know about tadpole breeding, I'll just show that real quick. So if you have two frogs, you can breed them together to create some tadpoles. So, you look at your frogs, select some good looking ones, and then you breed them together to spit out some tadpoles. And now the thing that we're working on that's hopefully almost ready is tadpole customization here. So let's see, you can click on customization, and then now, so this seems like a long time ago, doesn't it, Rizzle? And maybe it was, maybe a year and a half ago, we gave out dragonflies and water lilies to everyone. This was a big airdrop on Polygon to all our holders. And even, Rizzle, you met up with a bunch of people in NFT NYC 2 years ago, and you gave out these special red dragonflies. Now they finally have utility, something we've been thinking about and working on, kicking around for a while, and now you can actually use them to customize your tadpoles. So we're sort of digging in and going deeper into this tadpole rabbit hole, which is super fun. So you can select, I have a lot of tadpoles. So first what you do is select your tadpole that you want to customize. Here, look, I have a lot of them. I think I have over 200. You can select a tadpole that you want to customize and change. Let's select one that has some Rizzle features. Okay, here's an on-chain chain one. This is a cool one, right? And then you can customize it, and each dragonfly corresponds to a different trait that you can customize. And so if you click down, you'll see all the different things that you can change about them. And there are 62 new traits that I worked on that didn't exist during tadpole breeding. So let's go through some of them. Let's Rizzleify this tadpole. Okay, this tadpole, let's make it look more like Rizzle. Let's give it some lazy, a lazy left eye like you have. Yeah. And then we need a fire hat for you. So if you didn't breed tadpoles with some of these features, you can now go in and do them. Where's the fire hat? Oh, no, we want that head. I want to give you a firefighter head. Oh yeah, now it's starting to look like you. Let's give it some Rizzle flames from the Rizzlefest logo that I designed. I took that from the Rizzlefest logo. Boom. There we go. Some Rizzle flames for you. Oh, we need to give you a cigarette, because you started the fire with a cigarette or something. Let's see. Cigarette smoke. There we go. Look at that. Oh, the new skin. If you like skull tats, now we got Rizzle tats. Look at this. Who wouldn't want a bunch of Rizzle tattoos all over their child's body? And there's also, let's see, where's another one? Oh, the Frogentist. This was cool. The first time I drew this was in a live drawing at the WIP. You guys came up with the idea for drawing Rizzle blocks, and here's the little laboratory that they get made in. And you can also use your water lilies to change the name and descriptions of the tadpole. So you can type anything in here, like Rizzle Maxi. I don't know. This is a little Maxi. You can type in names. You can change the descriptions to whatever you want. The WIP. And then you can customize them. And here's one I did last night. So this is it's still a work in progress, but it's working. It doesn't work all the time. But here's one I did last night. I changed this one, and you can actually put emojis in the names and the descriptions, which is pretty cool. This one's Valerie Love Buns. I changed everything about her, all her traits except for the ears. I kept the bunny ears. And this is her description now, which I changed in the metadata. My friends call me Val. I was born on Valentine's Day. My favorite food is candy, and I love to make presents for my friends, and I love looking for rainbows. I have a lot of fun. It's gonna be hours and hours of me having fun with this. I can already tell. I've been having fun just thinking of names and descriptions. And now it has a new trait in the metadata called customized. So this gets added to any tadpoles that are customized. If I click on collection here, I can see that there's 13 tadpoles that have been customized so far with new traits. Oh, there's Tadpolean Jr. over there. There's Prince Goofball. I renamed that one. Oh, this one, I was starting to make this one over here look like a Rizzle tadpole. But there's certain things, let's see. So the on-chain chain, this is one of the things, you can only get an on-chain chain if you bred a tadpole with an on-chain chain. So if I go and pick another tadpole that didn't have an on-chain chain, that's not one of the selections here. Because there are, let's see, there's 120 different outfits that I've drawn up. I've drawn a lot of things. Look, 120 outfits, 78, 142 heads. If you didn't, you can't just add an on-chain chain to your tadpole. That's not one of the ones on the list, so you have to have already bred one with an on-chain chain if you want that. So let's go and let's see if it works. Okay. Let's try let's try this Rasta tadpole. I'm going to give it it needs a little, little smoky there. That's what I want to change about it. So now it's looking good. I don't want to change anything else about it. I'm just going to use up this one dragonfly. Let's cross our fingers and see if it works. Customize. I'm going to assign the, so this is all free. It's all on Polygon. We pay all the gas fees, so this doesn't cost people anything. I'm going to assign it. The only cost, people already have dragonflies, but the only cost is buying more dragonflies. Oh, there we go. Let's see if it worked. So, here you can see these dragonflies are getting burnt. Let me see if it worked on OpenSea. Live test here. Let's see if it works. There we go. 16 seconds ago, it burnt my turquoise dragonfly. So that looks like it worked. And then I can, you have to go to OpenSea and refresh the metadata. See if it works. All right, wait a little while.
TikTok, motherfucker!
Come on, OpenSea. There. Oh, it almost worked. Come on, OpenSea. OpenSea's getting TikToked. There we go. OpenSea does this. It takes like, a sec to this. There we go. It worked. Woohoo! Although it keeps refreshing, but all right. Anyway, it seemed to have worked on OpenSea, and yeah, we changed it. There you go. There we go. It's got its little cigarette now. It changed the metadata for the cigarette smoke, and it's been customized, and there we have it. Woohoo! So yeah, the dragonflies were airdropped to people, but we want people to have fun with this. Oops. We want people to have fun with this, so we've priced them at really low prices. You can buy water lilies for 0.001. Depending on rarity, you can buy dragonflies. This is all in polygons, so low gas fees for 0.002, 0.003. We want people to just have fun and buy these cheap dragonflies and customize as many tadpoles as they can, because it's fun. So give it a try if you want. There's still bugs we're working out, but if you want to give it a try, it's live, and it's still work in progress, but we'll be improving it over the next week or so and get it 100% there. Thanks, Sammy.
TikTok,
Yo, awesome, man.
TikTok, motherfucker!
Yo, dude, appreciate you hopping on in the demo. Yeah, this is like the live announcement, demo alpha info type of thing. I was saying in the chat, man, I'm actually amazed that the metadata on OpenSea changed so quickly. Yo, man, I'm gonna pass the mic over to Show for any questions that might have rolled in. Yeah, two successful live demos in a row. Pass the mic over to Shows for some questions. I'm going to drop the link for Crypto Voxels again so everyone can hop in and make sure you're here for the group shot after this.
Yeah, I also had fun building out my Crypto Voxels parcel finally. I bought it, I don't know, over a year ago, and I built it out a few weeks ago, so that was fun. I think the guest book in Crypto Voxels is broken at the moment, but if you go back and sign the guest book, I made my first voxel wearable, and I'll give it to you if you sign the guest book once it starts working.
That's awesome. As an artist, watching other artists, sometimes it gives you this kind of tingly feeling when you see them manifest awesome things, especially when they're genuine people, So watching the growth of the Flyfrogs universe, and also hearing about the fact that your wife is doing so many incredible things and she's super talented, and we only heard her voice like once or twice. It's this entire thing is inspirational.
He lets Rizzle do all the talking.
Fair point. I want to know what I mean. I guess I've sent it. I wanted to know this before, but what's really one important thing that you really need in order to get to whatever next step you feel is your next step?
Just with the project, you mean?
Sure.
Yeah, I think I'm excited to see people having fun with this tadpole customization, because in the beginning there were a lot of people jumped into the project and bought all the frogs, and there was a lot of speculation and blah blah blah, and now we're left with the people who are like really true fans, and the people who really love the art and love the technology, like myself too now. So this whole thing it seems like, it's like a small core group of people who are really into this and really here to have fun. And so I feel like we're chasing and doing stuff that the small group of core users is going to like. And that's what we're focusing on. The people like you. I'm still here having fun, drawing stuff and playing around with the technology, and that's what the people who are still part of our community. It's sometimes it feels like a small community, but it's strong. Between the WIP and my community and everything. So it's I think we're just going to continue to focus on doing things that we know our smaller community of true fans is gonna enjoy and have fun with. Personally, I'm still, I'm working on 3D stuff and trying to figure out that's just what StrawberrySith was talking about was really interesting to me because I'm all excited about, phygital too, but I'm still excited about exploring the what happens with 3D NFTs and toys in the future. I'm also, me personally, I'm also partnering with someone else on a new project coming up too, so I got a lot going on. I can't stop drawing.
It's funny that you mentioned that you can't stop drawing. Most artists tend to be amazing cooks in the kitchen. So, what's your favorite dish in terms of what you're able to make at home in the kitchen?
You mean real food?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, grill. I live in Tampa. I got a backyard with a pool and a grill, and that's my favorite thing to do. I probably grill 2, maybe 3 days a week, just putting their meat or fish or whatever on the grill and just hanging outside. That's fun.
Boom. If anyone else has any questions for Flyfrogs, tag them in the chat. They're always here. Thank you. I'm saying it again. 2 back-to-back successful live demos. Like that never happens. Let alone in like one show of the WIP. That's freaking crazy. It's so cool to see.
Well, thanks. I just hopped into Crypto
Cool.
Voxels.
And I think everyone.
It's cool to see everyone dancing in my parcel now because I found out about Crypto Voxels from you, from the WIP and everything, and now it's cool to see you all hanging out in there. So thanks.
We do a lot of full circling around here. And to commemorate that, we have the Metaverse videographer himself, Paradox, in the house. So Paradox, we're in your hands. But before that, let's get that Paradox intro theme song queued up.
Just a humble cameraman looking for a tiny bit of attention. It's me, Paradox. Get your asses in line and smile for the fucking camera. No one cares about Matthew and Grizzle, that's for sure. It's about me, Paradox. I'm taking over the show.
Okay, so oh my god, you gave me a heart attack. Okay, so if you've not been listening, I am Paradox. I am the resident WIP videographer. If you're new to the WIP, I edit together a recap video of these events every single week, and you can catch the videos I put out on Rizzle's Twitter, actually. So yeah, keep an eye out for those. This is the point of the show where we take a group photo, and I collect some more video for the said recap video. So I was going to say let's all gather on the platform, but it looks like you guys know the drill and you are already there. If anyone wants to be in the group photo that is not here, can somebody throw a link in the chat? That'd be amazing. You'll have probably a minute and a half whilst we play some music to get here. The rest of you, please throw up some emojis and do some dances, all that good stuff, and enjoy the music. So Dragonate, if you'd kindly play some music, let's get this thing going. How's that for timing? Thank you, Dragonite. Okay, cool. So that is everything from me, guys. I'll catch you next week. Back to Rizzle in the studio. Paradox out. Cheers.
I don't even know what to say about that. Welcome back, Paradox. If that is truly Paradox, I don't even know. Shout out to everyone who came out today to hear all the updates from the speakers. StrawberrySith, for what I had no idea was his Genesis appearance on the WIP. Flyfrogs for coming back and delivering a whole bunch of dope updates and everything. I'm going to post the links one more time. Make sure you sign all the things because it looks like, once again, everyone's coming out of here with a bunch of awesome stuff. So make sure you sign all the things. Yes, guestbook link, Vipe link, sign all the things, get all the things. With that, I think this is a nice, tight whip. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to pass it over to Matt in case we miss anything. But other than that, I think we're good. Make sure you stick around with show for the afties.
No, man, we hit it all. Again, shout out to Paradox's like 8-bit audio situation. Reminded me of like Darth Vader's illegitimate bastard son that they keep under the stairs for good reason. It's absolutely wild. And with that, yeah, let's intro show and get into the afties, y'all.
Wait, is this thing on?
Yeah! It's time for the afties!
Hot takes, opinions, thoughts. Let's go. Hey, what's up, y'all? How's my audio? Am I 2x2 or 5x5? Awesome. All right, y'all, check this out. Check this the fuck out. It's been ultimately boring as fuck in the space, but also extremely interestingly, excitingly, actively busy in the space. You know what I'm saying? So much so that I'm making up words because I'm flabbergasted by how fucking ridiculous SBF is. SBF decided to say fuck it. You know, we're gonna push this nepotism card. We're gonna push it. SBF had his lawyers say, "Hey, listen, judge, please just throw all this shit out." He wants his entire case dismissed. He says that he had nothing to do with it. He didn't do anything wrong. And on top of it, the IRS said, "Hey, we're seeking claims for damages in the form of $44 billion from FTX." Let me just make this as simple and clear for you to understand as possible. The guy who robbed everybody blatantly with the assistance of Gary Gensler wants his criminal charges dismissed because he is still playing this whole aw shucks boy next door nepotism thing. That's cringy as fuck. And in addition to that, the US government wants to take tax funds that they feel are in arrears or whatever that term was. I always hated that fucking word when they ask it for the money back or something. But that money is not their money. That money goes to the customers that were defrauded by FTX. So why the fuck should it be rerouted? Exactly, Matthew. Exactly. A lot of things are trying to rug retail. To the point where I want you to listen to these two things. It's not going to be a lot. You don't gotta check out. Just tune in. You care about this. Trust me. You care about this. You care about this because there's a point I want to make. In addition to all the other points that I make all the fucking time, is that Coinbase gave an ultimatum for the SEC to respond in 10 days. But it's been 5 days already. So 5 days, they have to respond to all the bullshit that they've been doing. I highly doubt that's going to happen. All right? You want to know why? Because Fed now is coming in 2 months, and they're trying to stall for time. And also, you want to know why? It's because of dipshits like this. Wait, click on the screen that I'm sharing. If you're in the voice channel, click on the screen. If you're on the voice channel, click on me. I want you to listen. If you're in the voice channel, click on me. If you're on the voice channel, click on me. All right?
For pointing out the need for diversity in gender, diversity in ethnicity and race. We also need diversity in viewpoint. We've got a whole panel here, none of whom...
It's a little low.
The basic question is, should we allow cryptocurrencies to go forward in the United States? The purpose of our capital markets for working American families is to finance factories and businesses where they can work at blue and white collar jobs and create products that help them in their daily lives. The purpose of our capital markets is to harness the animal spirits, the willingness to invest, and to fund housing and factories and jobs.
Wait, what? What the fuck did he just say? What the fuck did he just said that he wants to encourage diversity, and I get what he's trying to say, but what he just said, the words that he used is implying that he wants to harness the animal spirits that are in diversity in order to increase jobs, and none of that has anything to do with crypto. But none of that has anything to do with anything. What the fuck is? Okay. Look. All right.
It was at this moment that Nathan knew he fucked up.
What this does is it diverts that to something that is a system of a new hidden money system. It says so right in the name. Cryptocurrency literally means hidden money.
I'm sorry. What? It's right in the name. Hidden money system. Crypto literally translates to hit. That is the dumbest. Fuck it. Are you fucking serious? You know, this is an issue that I've this is a side note, sidebar. This is me breaking the fourth wall. I mean, it's not really, because I'm already talking to the audience, whatever. I'm not the look. When trying to explain this shit to people, especially in diverse cultures, with people who are unbanked or who are not technologically savvy, who are still in the AOL dial-up era, when they hear this term, they think, "Oh, Tales from the Crypt." And I'm like, no. And then they hear the term currency, and they think it's some kind of fancy Michelin, what, 3-star? Well, how many stars are in the Michelin restaurant? They think it's some fancy food dish, and it's like, no, it's not from France. No, and then they're thinking, the crypt, like an LA gang. And it's like, listen, your mind is all over the place. This is not what I'm trying to explain to you. They're like, oh, it just sounds scary. It sounds too scary. And this is the issue that I'm pretty sure all the people in the voice channel have dealt with when they're trying to explain this thing. So then when you have this dumbass who's in a very powerful position in this country, shout out to you if you don't live in this country, because your country seems to get it, while ours has dumbasses like this who wants to say that this shit means hidden money. It doesn't mean that. That's not what it means. Someone give this guy a Merriam-Webster dictionary. Have him point to cryptographic. Look at the definition of cryptographic. Let's hold on. I'm not done there, because I don't know if he says the thing that I want.
To create a tool that is and has as its announced purpose by its most prominent supporters to defeat our sanctions laws, to defeat our tax laws. And it's not that all of you who are in this industry are unwilling to abide by our sanctions laws and our tax laws. It's simply that you think you can make billions of dollars by building a valuable tool for those who do want to cheat on our taxes and do want to evade our sanctions laws and our
Okay, again, this narrative, right, with taxes. Someone just released. Oh no, it was the White House that just released a really interesting little graphic where it showed, hey, so all the crypto bro tax loopholes need to be killed off. Like, they want to focus on that. The Republicans want to focus on that instead of focusing on things that we need, like food deficits. And I was confused because I had no idea that there was an issue with food deficits when there's companies like Monsanto and other things where you could just keep making artificial food ad nauseum. I mean, this is America. You can make anything ad nauseum, right? Even money can be made ad nauseum, which this dumbass right here mentions. I don't think he does it in this video, but this same week he makes a mention of saying, hey, listen, we don't need, there's no use for crypto. They can make millions of it without being stopped, but America can make the US dollar millions of it without it stopping. We don't need, even if we're having inflation issues, we can just keep making more money to fix it. We can just keep making more of it, right?
our money laundering laws. We're told, oh
my God, hurry up! Hurry up! You're fucking taking too long.
Missing out. Other countries could get ahead of us. Peru is ahead of us in cocaine cultivation. China is ahead of us in organ harvesting.
No, wait, hold on. This is sweet. If you're in a voice channel and you're not clicking on the video, please click on. Just listen to this shit, please. I know you hear me cursing. Don't be a prude. Just listen.
We're told, we're gonna fear of missing out. Other countries could get ahead of us. Peru is ahead of us in cocaine cultivation. China is ahead of us in organ harvesting, and the Cayman Islands is ahead of us in innovative tax haven fraud. I do not see the need to catch up. We speak as if this whole idea of creating tools that will turn the income tax into just a tax on wage earners.
Let me pause again there. So, if that was a little hard to follow, this gentleman is saying that this is the counter argument to everyone with sense, saying, "Hey, listen, by us not having some clearly defined regulations, we're falling behind on innovative technology. That means everything you're building is for naught if you're in this country." And many of you aren't. Shout out to you. Like I said, your governments are smart as shit. We just had one of our regulators over in the UK applauding them for doing a good ass job while this country is fucking up. So we're saying, hey, listen, we're falling behind, you dumbasses. We're falling behind. And this gentleman is saying, listen, we don't need fear of missing out. Look at Peru. They're making cocaine. Look at what other country he said? He said, China had organ harvesting. We don't need more organs. We don't need to sell shit on the black market. We don't need to be in lockstep with them. Let them have those markets. There's tax havens in the Caribbean. Let them have it. This crypto, we don't need that. We don't need that shit. But yeah, we don't need it. But yeah, look at the banks failing. We don't need it. But look at how we keep increasing the interest rates. Money's being burned. We don't know how. Am I making sense to you all? Did you hear the stupidity? Did you hear the stupid? You know what? Sure, our institutions that allow us to control the world and have the most dominant currency on the planet that allows us to get our noses in everyone else's affairs. Sure, you know what? It's failing. They're threats. And this thing that can make it super strong and keep us in first place, we don't really need that. We're so egotistical. We've been stealing money through the IRS in all sorts of ways. We've had registered investors. The unbanked, they don't even matter. We extract value from them all the time. They want to buy sneakers and fucking gold chains and shit. We've been wiping our asses with $100 bills for so long. We don't even know how to make the money. We just get it because through nepotism. We don't even care anymore. We don't even know how to make money anymore. We created this capitalism shit, and we don't even know how to make it anymore. We don't need it.
And make it voluntary for the very rich as something new, because you guys are using the internet, because this industry uses the internet. It's nothing new. We had tax evasion tools last century, and we blocked them. The most valuable tool was the multi-billion-dollar bearer bond. One piece of paper, earns interest, totally untraceable, and we prohibited people from issuing them. We, of course, have a $100 bill.
With bonds only work if banks are working. So it's not that you block them, but if banks fail, and if banks that trade on your debt, banks are trading on your debt with other countries. The biggest one being China. They're betting that you're going to fail. It's kind of like buying options, puts and shorts. They're trading on your debt, and that's how they're making they make more money that way. That's why they get you into those predatory loans and things like that. This guy is trying to say that, hey, this is untraceable. You know what else is untraceable? Cash is untraceable. But if you give a gift of over 10 G's, you have to report it on your taxes. But the best way to fucking wash trade is by using dumbass banks that are looking to trade on your debts. Because it's in their interest in order to do that shit for you. Let's keep going. Oh my God, this is so ridiculous.
It's worth $10 from what it was 100 years ago. The $100 bill, the bearer bond are no longer good tools for tax evasion. We need a new one, and you can make billions of dollars if you can create it. All the money and power in this town is on the side of the crypto billionaire bros.
Are you a billionaire in the voice channel? Or are you a bro? Are you a man in the voice channel? Shout out to all the women who are in the voice channel right now.
There's no lobbyist in this town. There's no executive. Nobody's making $1 million to advocate for tax enforcement. Nobody is being paid to make sure that we enforce our sanctions laws and our money laundering laws. At least not to be lobbyists and not to make millions. And I think it was Mr. Kasten who reminded us of Sam Bankman-Fried. He still haunts these halls. His purpose was give a patina of regulation to this industry by defeating the SEC's efforts.
Defeating the SEC's efforts, he was best friends with Gary fucking Gensler. The chairman is sitting right next to him all the time. They're shooting the shit. They're drinking Mai Tais in the Bahamas or whatever the fuck they drink on Caribbean islands. I wouldn't know.
I don't want to say that I'm against blockchain. It's an accounting system. I'm against multi-million-dollar bearer bonds. I'm not against paper, and I'm not against ink. Mr. Mossad, if many of these crypto tokens are securities, many of those sold on exchanges are securities, if in any other field of our capital markets, if you had an unregistered exchange where you could buy and sell unregistered securities, wouldn't that be a violation of just about every securities law we've got?
Yes, sir. That would be a problem.
So why is the SEC that would immediately shut down a stock exchange where you had unregistered stock being publicly sold and which an unregistered, they seem unwilling to enforce the law in this area, whereas certainly if it was stocks and bonds, they'd enforce it immediately. Can you explain why they're not enforcing it?
They're not enforcing it for a number of reasons. The chief reason being that you, representative, in your seat, in your position, do not understand what this asset is, and therefore you have been dragging your feet on creating sensible and clear regulations in order to create guardrails for retail investors. That is why. But if your dumbass doesn't understand that you are supposed to be telling the SEC what they should be doing, how is the SEC supposed to know what they're supposed to do? But better yet, it also gives the SEC the ability to do whatever the fuck they want if a sitting senator, Elizabeth Warren, has a fucking interest, a misguided interest in destroying something that is ultimately destroying what is giving her seat of power position. She's destroying the power. She's destroying the power of the fiat dollar. Inadvertently, you know what? I need to hear someone sensible. I want to go. I want to go to my man. I want to go to my man Richie Torres. Shout out to Richie Torres, representative in New York City. This is a young, really intelligent representative. I'm trying to find the timestamp. Don't judge me. I'm too old. I'm like this guy. I'm too old. I don't even know what timestamps are. What's a fucking timestamp? I bet he knows the timestamps if he's on Pornhub. Try to fight it. I'm almost there. I swear I'm almost there. Is this? There we go. There we go. Hold on. We're gonna hear from some smart people now. There we go. Hold on. Wait. Okay.
About crypto regulation. Although there are too many.
Oh, wait. Because that little quip, these little quips, these are the things that let you know who's sitting in the chair.
With that, I yield my time back to the chair. Thank you. Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Torres, recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Here in Congress, we have what I would describe as a anti-crypto derangement syndrome that clouds clear thinking about crypto regulation.
Did you hear that? Awesome. Brilliant. Masterful quip right there. Let's keep going.
Although there are too many myths to dispel, I will take the occasion to address a few of them. Myth, a statutory framework for crypto, would undermine 9 decades of securities law. Fact, the New York State Department of Financial Services has an alternate framework for regulating virtual assets. And far from undermining securities regulation, DFS has shown itself to be the most rigorous regulator of crypto in the world. Myth, there's no need at all for the SEC to provide regulatory clarity and guidance, and that calls for clarity and guidance are nothing more than a pretext for evading lawful compliance. Fact, even the Investor Advisory Committee, which favors Gary Gensler's approach to enforcement, concedes that there is in fact a need for regulatory clarity. Quote, the SEC should consider issuing a request for comment regarding areas where additional guidance is needed related to the application of federal securities laws to crypto assets. Myth, it does not matter at all if crypto is driven offshore. Fact, offshore, deregulated, over-leveraged companies like FTX carry the greatest risk of losing customer funds, a point that Gary Gensler himself did not dispute when pressed under questioning. Myth, registration with the SEC is just a form on a website. Fact, the notion of registration as just a form on a website is patently false. So false, in fact, that it would come as a shock to all the securities lawyers and companies spending millions of dollars on SEC registration and compliance. Myth, the SEC has the right to crack down on crypto because the technology has no utility. It does more harm than good. Fact, the SEC is statutorily designed to be a merit-neutral regulator. Even if SEC chair were as omniscient as God himself, he nonetheless has no statutory authority to impose his personal judgment about the merits of crypto and blockchain on those of us who disagree with him. The SEC's only role is to correct information asymmetries and mandate disclosures to protect investors.
Their only role is to fix the asymmetries, meaning things that are not congruent, meaning things that do not line up, meaning errors and mistakes. The biggest mistake is Sam Bankman-Fried's fucking collar, his loose-ass t-shirt collar. God damn it, someone buy that motherfucker a fucking normal t-shirt with a normal collar. It was so sloppy. It was obvious. His hair was fucking disheveled.
So my first question, one can imagine a digital asset that begins as a security, but then over time morphs into something else as it becomes decentralized. Ether, for example, was arguably a security at the time of the ICO, but then arguably became a commodity as it became decentralized. If a digital asset no longer has a central team from whose efforts investors expect to derive the profit, should there be a process by which that digital asset transitions from securities regulation to commodities regulation? Mr. Culkin, do you want to take a shot at that?
Congressman, so first, thank you for your remarks. I agree with your sentiment, and I think about these issues as being a former markets regulator. And so it's really not so much whether I think that there's merit to the product, but more that market participants need to be able to come in and know that the market has integrity. There's not fraud, there's not manipulation, activities being surveilled. In terms of transitioning from a security to a commodity, I mentioned this earlier, there's sort of the obvious two endpoints, a token.
I don't like how this guy talks. He just doesn't talk well. He has to yell and scream like me.
Delineate that process.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
But you have no clear sense of how that process should unfold?
It really depends on the facts and circumstances, and we've talked today about how.
Oh my God! Just shut up.
Exhaustive, or are there other categories that we should keep in mind? I see you waving your head, so that's.
Well, Congressman, first of all, something can be a commodity under our laws, such as Ether, by virtue of the fact that there is a futures contract traded on it. That doesn't necessarily mean it is not a security. You can have something that's both. And the question for a lot of these tokens is there still that enterprise behind it that is affecting its value? I'm not saying Ether is still a security, but I'm saying those questions still exist.
Yeah.
And yes, we need a transition. It's really a transition from when should all the securities laws that go to capital raising stop applying, because you really don't have an entity behind it, an enterprise behind it. We should have a process that addresses that.
But this guy, why don't you understand that the Howey test was because of the Howey Corporation selling an orange grove? They sold the property. The oranges aren't investment contracts in you having ownership of the property. If you eat a fucking orange from this property, what happens to the investment contract? Oh, it's in your stomach? Or maybe you flushed it down the toilet. Then what happens to it? Oh my God, my investment is down the drain. What happened? Like, it's still security? The owning ETH does not give you an investment contract in the Ethereum Foundation. Trust me, I know, I tried.
Gentleman yields back.
So thoughts, y'all, thoughts. Have your investment and eat it too. Unmute your microphones. Thoughts.
Fucking.
But more than that, so you've heard two opposing arguments. They're getting closer and closer to understanding things. This is good because this level of discourse means that we're getting somewhere, because they were not on this level before. When I tell you, they didn't understand things, even incorrectly. They didn't even understand things. It was bad. But this is a step in the right direction, because we have a Richie Torres there. We have a Senator McCarthy there. I'm the senator, excuse me. We have Congressman McCarthy there. We have people who know what the fuck is going on, who are savvy, who are saying, hey, listen, this isn't about political anything. Let's just get this going on, because this is the future. This is the future. And you can see how ridiculous these people sound when they're clinging on to not just the past, but they're clinging on to some old idealism. They still believe, these people still believe, that the fiat dollar is backed by gold, but the term fiat is telling you that it's not backed by. Oh my God, it's so frustrating. Thoughts? Unmute your microphone. Unmute your microphone and you tell me what's on your fucking mind.
Why are any of these losers? Sorry. Let me not be so rude. Why are any of these dinosaurs or potentially fossils even talking about shit that they don't even understand or know anything about? Aside from the fact that they can use their stupidity of calling it like hidden money to make it sound worse than it is.
It's power, man. It's power. Power is what wakes you up in the morning and gets you to brush your teeth and look yourself in the eye. Power is what allows you to only put deodorant, not antiperspirant, but deodorant on only under one armpit instead of two. Power allows you to only wear one sock and then go to a public forum like this and then spew this kind of shit. Power, man. Unmute your microphone. Power is what keeps them moving, even when they're up there. Shout out to the octogenarians. Shout out to the 90-gerians.
The fossils,
it's
and dinosaurs.
Yeah. I mean, they can be in they can be there. They can hold public positions for years. But we see how detrimental this is when we look at the last two presidents. I'm counting both of them. I mean, the last two presidents of the United States they're polar opposites, but they have very similar track records and similar personal ideals. Let's keep it real. We got Senator Feinstein. We got Maxine Waters. We got this guy sitting here. We got oh my God, what was the former Senate Majority Whip? Oh my God. Oh no. Oh, what's that guy's name? Oh, he looks like a worm from Kentucky. We got him. My point being is that they just sit there and they're still thinking it's like 1927 or something. He does look like a worm. He looks. God, what the fuck is that guy's? McConnell, Mitch McConnell. Just Google Mitch McConnell. Just Google what it sounds like. The name. But look, y'all, I'm not gonna keep you here. My point is this. This is the state. This is the state of everything that we're in. This month they're supposed to have regulatory framework. This month, Judge Annalisa Torres is supposed to release her ruling. She's taking forever. She's actually taking so long that I actually think that it's not going to happen. I think that she's stalling for time, and it sucks. I don't think it's gonna release. Hopefully, it will release this year. It's supposed to be now. Like literally, she only had two more months. You know, she was supposed to do it. It's supposed to be now. The 2 months is up, but I don't know what the fuck is going on. Let's just cross our fingers and hope everything works out. All right. Much love. Shout out to the entire leadership team here at meme.com. Shout out to the WIP crew. You know I love each and every single one of you. Most importantly, shout out WIP fam. Thank you for coming through to this edition of the Athletes in the WIP. As a whole, much love, and I'll see you later.
One, two, three, four. Cheese.